The first constitutional government in Filipinas was established in Biak na Bato, and though its constitution was only temporary, the preamble stated that the goal of the revolution that was started in August 1896 was the separation of Filipino from Spanish monarchy and its establishment as an independent and sovereign state with the name República de Filipinas with its own government. Emilio Aguinaldo established his headquarters in Biak na Bato in Bulacan Province. The news immediately spread throughout the country and the revolutionary were once more in high spirits. General Ilanera, who was in Nueva Ecija, declared his support to Emilio. In July 1897, Emilio Aguinaldo established the Biak na Bato Republic and issued a proclamation stating the following demands: expulsion of the friars and the return of the friar land to the Filipinos, representation of the Philippines in the Spanish Cortes, freedom of the press and of religion, abolition of the government's power to banish Filipinos, and equality for all before the law. On November 1st, 1897, it was signed. The Biak na Bato Constitution called for the creation of Supreme Council, which would act as the Republic's highest governmental body. It also listed some of the human rights, including the freedom of religion, press, and education.
The Constitutional History of the Philippines is a journal type of article where we found in the open access published by the American Bar Association. This article can be known as a secondary source of the information. As seen in, the content of the journal was determined as a published journal written article based from a primary source which determined as the original copy of the article. Also, it was written throughout the Philippines Constitution.
Hello everyone, I am James Ryan S. Delucan. For this video, I am going to discuss about on the controversy of the first Philippine Constitution. For further knowledge, what you are seeing right now is the timeline of the Philippine Constitution throughout the history, starting with the 1899 Constitution downward to the present Constitution of 1987 Constitution. Accordingly, there are only 3 constitutions that has been used throughout the history of the Philippine Republic, namely 1899 Malolos Constitution, the 1973 Marcos Administration, and then the 1987 present Constitution. This is a bottleneck debate for some scholars that aims to study and explore the Philippine history as what really the truth behind of the first Constitution that was promulgated during those times. Now, let's travel back time and talk about the controversial events in promulgation of the first Philippine Constitution. As we all know that the Philippines was under Spanish rule for 333 years, most Filipinos thought that it was homescapes until the Spanish-Filipino Agreement came. This agreement is called the Pact of Biak na Bato or the 1897 Constitution of Biak na Bato. The Spanish government agreed to grant self-rule to the Philippines in 3 years if President Aguinaldo go to exile and surrender his arms. Aguinaldo agreed to this idea. He went to Hong Kong. However, there is a tiny problem with this agreement. The Filipinos and the Spaniards did not trust each other, so they have trust issues. The Spaniards did not pay the agreed amount, likewise the Filipinos did not surrender their arms. So, the President Aguinaldo was forced to go back into the Philippines and declare the Philippine independence in Kawit, Cavite on June 12, 1898. The Filipinos were happy of the idea of being independent until U.S.-Spain secret agreement. The U.S. wanted the Philippines as the colony, so the Spain sold Philippines to the United States. The Filipinos were not happy with the idea of being colonized. This forced Aguinaldo to issue a decree forming a Malolos Congress who was assigned to make the constitution for the first Philippine Republic. 3 days after, the first Philippine Republic was established. The Malolos Constitution is also called the 1899 Constitution, or the first constitution for the First Republic. are the Philippine Republic and the first Republican Constitution in Asia.
Good day, I am Rejuven G. Danso, BSN1, and for today I will discuss to you the relevance of the first Philippines Constitution to the Philippine history. So what are the relevance of the first Constitution? So first, through Philippine Constitution, people of country established a set of rules to preserve and maintain peace and order. So we all know that a state's constitution is a vital piece of legislation. Indeed, it is the set of rules established by the people of a country to preserve and maintain peace and order. So without this, the state's sovereign power will deteriorate and the government will be unable to function properly. Second is Rizal's propaganda movement. This was the first Filipino nationalist movement led by a Filipino elite and inspired by the proto-nationalist activism of figures such as Jose Burgos and by his execution at the hands of colonial authorities. Also, Rizal's propaganda movement sought equal treatment of Filipinos and representation in the Cortes. Next is they established the Katipunan led by Andres Bonifacio. This organization was called the Kataas-Taasan, Kagalang-Galang na Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan or Katipunan, was aims to unite the country and to win independence from Spain by means of revolution. Then lastly, they also established the Biak na Bato, and it was signed on November 1, 1897. The Constitution of Biak na Bato provided for the establishment of a Supreme Council that would serve as the supreme governing body of the Republic, where they highlighted some fundamental human rights such as freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and the freedom to right to education.
So the relevance of the first Philippine Constitution to the new Filipino generation. The first Philippine Constitution is a significant document created by the elected representatives of the people in the Philippines. The Constitution explicitly provided protections against mistreatment and listed Filipinos' national and individual rights. The legislative powers were practiced by the Assembly of Representatives, which has been made up of delegates elected by law. It established a Filipino state with a government that was popular, representative, and responsible, with three distinct branches, which are executive, legislative, and judicial. The Constitution has become testament to the Filipinos' ability to show their own democracy path. Representatives of Filipino people lawfully assembled to administer and enforce, provide protection to the people, improve the welfare, and defend the Constitution for Filipinos. This is why it is relevant to the new Filipino generation because it provides them with freedom and equality. It also allows the next generation to realize and appreciate their basic rights as a citizen, as well as the fundamental principles upon which our society is founded. In addition, the first Philippine Constitution's relevance to the new Filipino generation is because it helps to protect the rights of all Filipinos. It allows Filipinos to have justice while also having or living a happy and fulfilling life. It also outlines how those in positions of power can be held accountable to the people they serve. Furthermore, it teaches us about our restrictions, and the actions we should take to become a good citizens.
Good day everyone, I am Princess Hannah Dimonahan. So today I will be talking about the summary and realization about the first Constitution of the Philippines. The Constitution is a set of basic rules or rules that have already been set that a state or other organization must follow. It stands for the freedom and independence of the country. A constitution is important because it ensures that individuals who make decisions on behalf of the people do so fairly. It also outlines how those in position of power can be held accountable to the people they serve. Through research and personal observation of the specific context of the first constitution, I have concluded that freedom is crucial because it facilitates creativity and generation of new ideas, makes individuals more productive, and improves the quality of life. Human rights follow because people can speak of what they deserve against abuse and corruption. In addition, it makes people feel impartial, which leads to more equitable justice and fairness. Everyone would be treated fair if viewed as equal, resulting in fewer conflicts. Also, political awareness cause is essential to be conscious of our surroundings, especially the law. As a citizens, we are obtained to express our sentiments and aspiration for our nation, and we want our opinion on political and economic issues to be heard.
So, good day. My name is Daniel Gabriel B. Diamante, and now I'll be going to summarize or give some realization to our topic for you to understand it better. So, our topic is about the first Philippine Constitution. So, there are many constitutions and republics that established before. At napapaisip talaga ang iba kung malolos ba or ang biak na ba to ang unang constitution, kung alin sa kanila. But for my own understanding and observation, it has become better known or more people say that the first Philippine Constitution is the biak na ba to Constitution. Because for them, it provides the establishment of Supreme Council that would serve as the highest governing body of the Republic. It also outlines certain basic human rights such as freedom of religion, freedom of press, and the right to education. So, Biak na Bato was signed November 1, 1897 until December same year. It started because of the several battles between the Spanish and the Filipino Revolutionary, and it was drafted by Isabelo Artacho and Felix Ferrer. Para hindi na umaba ang pagsasalita ko dito, masasabi kong maganda ang ideya o naisip nila na gumawa ng konstitusyon sa Pilipinas. Dahil ito ay gabay kung paano natin patatakbuhin ang isang bansa. Kumbaga, para itong foundation of the system of government na may mga rules, principles in accordance with which the power of sovereignty is exercised and implemented. Apart from that, this constitution serves as the supreme fundamental law. Kumbaga, sa konstitusyon na to, nagbe-base ang mga tao ng mga laws. Dahil wala po tayong batas na pwedeng gawin na hindi tugma o wala sa konstitusyon. So, all in all, this constitution or this Biak na Bato constitution scheme was an approach to leadership that moderates the government authoritarian origins by self-imposed limitations characterized by grace and consciousness of genuine patriotism. So, that's would be all. Thank you.